On this episode, Feng stops by. You're supposed to...
We'll do some post effects to that.
Hello everyone, this is Jiale and you're watching the Advisor of Advisors show. Hey everyone, this is Jiale and you're watching episode 3 of the Advisor of Advisors show. Alright, and today, legend in the house.
Oh, come on.
I don't think Eric needs any further introduction. Everyone knows Eric.
Hello.
If you are in the, if you are a financial advisor, if you don't know Eric, then you must be living under a rock.
Oh, I'm not doing a good enough job with my branding.
Very, very humble. I met Eric we met in 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Okay, and it was a physical class.
Correct. And it was a turning point in my career. Like you entered my life at a very important moment of my career, 2016.
The feeling is mutual, just to let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were already 3 years in the business or 6 years? I think.
No, it wasn't 6. 2016, I was 4th year in the business.
Oh, okay, got it.
All right, and a bit of backstory.
Yeah.
I was desperate for a breakthrough. Okay, scrolling through desperately on my Facebook, trying to find a getaway or a way to bring myself to the next level.
Yep.
All right. Then coincidentally, your post appeared.
Ta-da!
Your post appeared. All right. Then I'm like, hey, what this guy says that I can move from hunting to attracting. How is that even possible? Because when we first entered the business, we were taught hunting and nothing else, right? There were no concept of attracting. And this guy was saying that I can do attraction for you. I can teach you how to attract. That got my attention, so I clicked in. I signed up, and the next thing I knew, I was at the Sime Derby.
Correct.
Sime Derby, Bukit Timah.
Yeah.
All right. And then there you were. You were doing the
Preview. I remember doing some preview. Yeah.
Preview, and
then you sign up.
Yes, I remember you were typing away on the laptop when I came in, and you gave me a nod and a smile.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, is he? Yeah, he should be the main speaker, right?
Yeah.
The next thing I knew was you moved up stage and the whole atmosphere changed. Like you were just so good at capturing attention.
Thank you.
Yep, and just all eyes on you, and I was just being drawn to you. And I brought a friend along, we both just like took down a lot of notes, right? And at that point in time, you said if you were to bring another friend along, you gave
some kind of buddy discount.
Yes.
I remember.
Yeah, and I signed up like right on the spot.
Awesome.
Right on the spot. Yeah, and it was a 3-day.
It was. Yeah, I think it was
Physical,
a 3. Oh my god, it looks like I don't know my own program, right? Because it's been a while.
You have run so many programs.
Yeah, but the title of the program I remember is called Sales Magnet.
Sales Magnet, yes.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a backstory to that program as well. Because if you guys have been in the insurance business for a very, very long time, when I first got introduced to you guys, it was in 2013. And back then, my topic was on charisma. Yeah, and it was all about personal attraction and the whole core principle that people buy people, right? And then one day, I was in Taiwan trying to pitch my programs to this CEO of a very big insurance company. And he said to me, Eric, look, this is the problem. So you draw a 2x2 table, new agents, senior agents.
Yeah.
New agents have a problem with prospecting. New agents have a problem with closing. Old agents, senior agents have a problem with prospecting, no problem with closing. So I started to see, so the problem is prospecting. He said, Eric, you teach my guys charisma, but they cannot even get the customers to come and see them. How can they show their charisma?
Because charisma is like part 2.
It's part 2, or at least that's how you look at it. And that was when I started realizing, oh my god, okay, that means I need to create a program to get you to meet your customers, then you can show forth your charisma.
Yes.
That was how the program Sales Magnet came about.
But that was 2013, you say?
Yeah, but then of course the title of Sales Magnet didn't come out until much later. But I started working with a company, started creating, teaching them how to get, people call it marketing. I didn't even call marketing. I was just telling them that it's charisma, but it's about how do you attract customers to you. So that was actually how it started.
So you were already doing attraction?
But I was still, I mean, I'm not a subject matter expert. I didn't study marketing, right? So all I could do was to think back to my own process of how I attract customers.
Okay.
And so I just taught them how I did my own marketing, and then that was how it started. Then when I came back to Singapore, then what happened was I realized that there are two ways you can attract people to you. One way is through networking. That means that if you build good relationships with people and then people will recommend their friends to you, then you don't have to sell yourself. Right? That's one way. But the second way was digital marketing.
Yep.
But I'm not an expert in digital marketing. I didn't even do any digital marketing, right? I don't run ads. I didn't do that back then. So I invited a digital marketer to come and do it with me. But unfortunately, the digital marketing part did not work. You weren't there yet. Because you were in batch 3 or batch 4.
Okay.
But when I ran the pilot run, right, we ran it as a 2-day program. The networking part flew, but it's of course because it's networking, we know it's proven.
Yep.
But it's not that digital marketing doesn't work. But that guy was really good at doing digital marketing for products. But insurance is not a product. Insurance is about a service. And then I realized that you shouldn't sell the service, you should sell the person.
Yep.
Then when you came to that program was when I took over the part, and then this time around we avoided running ads, we avoided teaching about how to run ads, how to build funnels. We went all into about building personal brand. So that was the program that you attended.
Oh, wait, no. I think I
Salesman.
attended Sales Minute where Norman still took the second
Really?
half. Yeah,
Okay,
correct.
so then, I don't know how you became successful, but then after you finished doing that program was when it evolved, it became just all me.
I think I simply just took your advice and just applied it.
Which advice was the pivotal one for you?
You may be surprised.
Yeah.
It's the notion that attraction is even possible. That's all. Like you planted that belief,
Which is the core of that program, because we taught the how to.
Yes.
But I guess it's just mindset change. Is it?
It's a mindset change.
Okay.
Like once I flipped that switch, and then everything else just flows. And of course, I copy quite a bit of what you do.
But can I ask you something? Like, I mean, so many people have already learned this, right? The attraction game. You call it the attraction game. I call it KLR. Why do you think there are some people that are not able to still attract? They know the how, they got the tactics, they know the strategy, but they're not attracting. Why?
Hey bro, I'm supposed to ask you that question
No,
actually.
we discuss. Because I have a theory, but we discuss.
I'm the guest now.
Chit chat, right? Like your observation, especially since you are in the market yourself.
Number one is it's really the belief that attraction can even happen for them. Like they are so ingrained in I have to look for people and people coming to look for me. That's not a possible scenario for me. I really believe in that. Like the first thing is belief.
Got it.
Yeah.
So the belief in that is even possible, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got a theory or a secondary one to complement what you just said. I felt that a lot of it has got to do with self-belief. And it took me a long time to realize that, because when I first taught it, I just teach it in terms of just strategies and ideas, but I started to see that when I teach it, not everybody succeeds. Some succeed through like you. And some of my epic mentees, they do very well.
Yeah.
But then why the rest of them did not? That was when I came to realize that before a person can become a person of influence, you need to first even see yourself as a person of influence.
You need to see yourself. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's the whole principle that, if you see yourself as a nobody, then people are going to treat you as that.
Of course.
So now the way I teach is a little bit different now. I mean, I'll still teach the strategies, but I spend a lot more time helping that person see his own value. Because the
self-image
exactly,
and esteem,
self-esteem and self-image, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the world responds to how you see yourself.
Your reality is a reflection of yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Which then, therefore, now, so I'm excited because I always like to do self-work, like personal development. Like teaching strategy, anybody can do it. But it's a lot more exciting when you do internal surgery of a person. It is. The psyche, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm at a point where I'm changing my approach. Like I'll still teach the social media, the tactics and the brand, but if I really can go into one thing, is to help the person see the best in themselves.
It seems like you're going deeper down.
Going deeper. Because the minute I do that, then they can learn from anybody else about how to build a brand, or it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Right? The strategies are out there.
Yes.
But no one can teach you how to see the best in yourself. It's a process, it is a journey, it's like dating. It's like dating yourself again.
Wow.
And so now with my new batch of community, I'm teaching all about that.
How are you going to do that? Because I come to understand that, for example, a self-esteem of an adult stems from the childhood and the love from the parents and whatever happened in childhood, and then it manifests into adulthood. Right? How are you going to go deep enough to create a surgery such that they can flip a switch?
Coaching skills is coaching. There are tools that we can use.
Okay.
And so a backstory, right? even before I became a trainer, I was a uni kid. I've always loved self-help. I was like a seminar junkie. But I never seemed to amount to anything. Like, I attend a lot of self-help program, pay a lot of money, but no change on.
Yeah.
I'm just like super ditzy and very positive. Every time I face a problem, I will try to positive my way out of it. But no results. And then one day, I got invited to a coaching program.
Okay.
All right, and it was a 3-day coaching program, paid a lot of money, 4 figures, 1,499, I remember. It was my most expensive
one-to-one
program.
coaching?
No, group coaching, but inside there was only about 8 to 10 people.
Okay.
And then I was sitting in front, taking a lot of notes, trying to take notes. And then that coach looked at me and go like, good luck to you. This is not going to be the kind of program you think about. Because I was thinking of getting ideas, strategies.
Yeah.
But in the first day, he got us to plan our goals, right? He said, okay, right now, everything that you want in life. So I was thinking, that's so easy. I've done it in a seminar before. I wrote down, I was the first to finish, so I was so proud of myself. Thinking that I'm a top student. And then when he looked at it, he said, for you, I'll give you an extra assignment. Draw a line, and at the side of the goal, write down, how do you came up with that goal? Like, who asked you to create that goal?
Yeah.
And then as I went through it, that was when it was my first time breaking down in a public class. Because I had
just like that.
Yes, I had a moment of realization that all the goals that I set, none of them was what I wanted. It was either what my mom wanted, or to prove that I'm not stupid, or to show people that we are not poor. Everything is either to prove something or to cover up something. Or it's because someone said that you must have it, therefore I have it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden when I look up and he looked at me and he said that, so I guess you haven't really started working on the goals. Then that was that moment. That was my very first moment of coaching.
When was that?
In my uni days, so it's 2015. No, sorry, 2005.
Yeah.
2015 is this reason. 2005.
Okay.
Where I had at that moment.
Yeah.
And then there's another one where he got us to think about memories. And then suddenly I thought about a memory. So I forgot what's the exercise, but we have to go through memories. And then I remembered a very, very painful memory.
All right.
Me in my BMT days, skinny, scrawny, weak. And then because we are in suspect, so suspect sergeant, right? So your dad is supposed to go down there and put a cap on you as a form of graduation.
Okay.
But prior to that, I've been whining about not suffering in BMT.
Yeah.
I keep crying to my mom, saying I want to go home. I cannot take the toughness because I was not physically fit. And then I was weak all the time. I was fainting all the time, But I remembered at that moment, I told myself, I think it was BMT. The graduation, you have to walk that very long distance walk, right?
Yeah.
And I told myself, I must make my dad proud.
Yeah.
I must make my dad proud. So I must go through it. I must bite, 咬紧牙根, I must go through that, right? So I did it. And in that moment, I thought that I did it. I was in a graduation, my dad would be proud of me. But I guess all that whole 3 months of like my dad being upset with me for being so weak as a guy, came up. And when he walked up, he didn't even look at me, he didn't even get eye contact. He just took my hat, just put it out and walk off. And I had to stand there pretend nothing happened. And I didn't know that hurt me, Jiale. I didn't know. Until flashback, that means army was 18 years old, 7 years later, boom, cried non-stop. It was healing for me.
Wow.
So to answer your question, I took a long run to answer that question, but I just want to say that all of us have a certain set of beliefs that either determine our success or our failure.
Yep.
And the only way that you can change your beliefs is if you go back to that moment where something happened, usually a trauma, negative, that caused you to make a conclusion about an event, which usually is not accurate. And that becomes your life.
Understand.
Yeah.
You have to go back to that moment.
You have to go back to the moment.
And attach a new meaning to that event.
Actually, that's a nice way to put it. Because everything that happens to us is a fact, but we tell a story.
Yes.
And that story,
and then we just live with that story.
Yeah, that I'm weak, that my dad's not proud of me. And therefore, that's why I never had the confidence. Because I cannot even get approval of my dad. So I was a very shy, nervous kind of guy. Totally no confidence, no charisma. And it was that moment I realized that, whoa, whatever that my dad did to me, it was damaging. Yeah, and we have to fix that.
Did you fix
that? I had to go. So one of my homework that day was to go back to my dad and say, Dad, what you did hurt me. And it requires act of courage, right?
Yeah.
And I asked my dad, are you really not proud of me? Like, I worked so hard to be successful.
Wow.
You're not proud of me. My dad was shocked. What, not proud of you? I'm always proud of you.
Yeah.
And that's what I needed to hear. I needed to hear that my dad is proud of me. And the minute I hear that my dad is proud of me, then everything else that I've been doing, I don't have to do anymore. Because everything I did during my uni days to study hard, try to be a student leader, all that is to make myself feel a bit better about myself because I'm weak physically, therefore I need to compensate in everything else. But if you're going to live a life of compensation, you're not going to be a happy person.
You're trying to gain approval of your dad.
Exactly, I was trying to get approval of my dad, and that's why I'm so needy for approval. For everybody that's an authority figure reminds me of my dad. But that's made me vulnerable because if I have a mentor that's trying to take advantage of me, then I'm screwed. So I went back to the past, or more like I went to talk to my dad about it, and I said, is it true that my story is accurate, that you're actually not proud of me? And then my dad was like surprised that why would you even say that? I'm super proud of you. And he said the things that I needed to hear. And the minute I hear that, then all of a sudden I don't have to seek approval everywhere else.
Because you're validated already.
So it's like you've been holding a burden for so many years, right? All of a sudden when you drop that burden, like you go Army SOC, right? Where obstacle course, you drop the rocks, you can fly. And in that moment, I had space to ask myself, now that I have no need for approval from my dad, what do I want my life to be about? And that was the beginning of a very beautiful life.
Wow.
Yeah, so why are we saying all these things? We're saying all these things because, for those of you who maybe just came in and listened to this, that at the end of the day, when it comes to building a personal brand, you're trying to play the attraction game. You're trying to get people to take notice of you. Try to get people to want to listen to you, right? To see you as a somebody. But if you don't even see yourself as a somebody, then the world will respond accordingly.
Exactly.
But in order for you to have a positive self-image, you have to look at what kind of beliefs you have about yourself. And all those beliefs come from the experiences that you have. And you have to go one by one to clear that off, Like go back to your old hard drive, right?
Hard drive,
Look at all the photos and videos and ask yourself, is this belief still serving me?
There's some bugs in your hard drive.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then you got to go back and then you have to reprogram it. If not, I tell you, anything that we teach anybody is not going to help you. It's not going to change anything.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wow. Is this even coachable through a webinar, or it has to be like more close group and one-to-one?
I feel that it has to be a smaller group simply because it takes a lot of energy to destroy a person's limiting belief.
Understand.
You think about it. A person is already destined to have a certain trajectory because of their old belief, right? In order for me to destroy the trajectory, it's a force, what was that called? The law of, I forgot what is it, thermodynamics, I guess.
Wow,
right? Where you need to introduce a force larger than that force in order to create a new direction.
Is that Newton's law?
Newton's law,
Newton's
exactly.
law, I think.
So therefore, it requires the coach to be able to create an environment for the person to want to change.
I understand.
And there's a lot of prep work as well.
Wow.
And the prep work is helping the person to start journaling and remembering all the different events that led to the moment where they make that limiting belief.
It seems like this exercise will be quite a tear-jerking one.
I think it's I don't think it's a one-time thing. I think it's a continuous thing. That's why I feel that I've been in the education business since 2008, so it's about 13 years. The longer I'm in this business, the more I'm convinced that how powerful you can be depends on how much work you've done on yourself.
Wow.
How powerful you can be in this world depends on how much work you have done on yourself. So the deeper you go in uncovering your weaknesses, understanding your strengths and your beliefs, the more you can serve this world. So these days, I actually spend more time working on myself than my mentees. Because how far my mentees can progress would be determined by how far I've progressed.
Of course.
I set the cap.
Yes.
So if I keep growing, my mentees will keep growing.
Yeah.
So that's where I am right now.
So wow, that's deep for first part of the.
No, it was unintentional, but it's just that's where I am right now.
So is there so that's the next thing that you're gonna roll out.
It's not something that I've launched. It's not a marketing thing, but it's that the way I teach is a little bit different already. So like recently, I've been telling my mentees, I say that the fear of man is a snare. I borrowed that from the Bible. It was so powerful for me. What's called fear of man? Fear of man means fear of man's opinions of you. Like if you put so much weight to what people say about you, right? It's a trap because it prevents you from doing the right things, or it causes you to follow the crowd. How can you stand out if you're always trying to fit in? Right? And so I think that if for a person to be a person of influence, to be able to successfully thrive in the attraction game, whoever that person is, he needs to keep working on himself. He needs to have a positive self-image. He needs to be his own biggest fan. If you are not your own biggest fan, how on earth would you want other people to be a fan of you?
And you need to tell the right story to yourself, right? Like it's like what do you call your self-talk.
Yeah,
right.
It is. And anyway, we're always talking to ourselves. It's just we're not aware.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we need to start changing this.
Yeah. It's like, why would someone's like a stranger's opinion affect you? It's because maybe you interpreted this opinion as something that's targeted to you.
It could be because you interpret it that way, or I have another theory, which is that you already have a weakness there. Like for example, what is something that if people say about you, you'll get affected by? You have? Okay, you think I say mine, okay? So let's say mine might be, maybe I'm very conscious about my accent. Let's say I already have that weakness. I already have that fear, the inadequacy about my accent.
Your accent is your weakness?
Yeah, no, I'm just giving an example. Like if let's say my inadequacy is accent, then the minute a troll, a hater, a critic mention anything about accent, boom, I go down into to misery and depression.
I understand.
So let's just say that the reason why you're so affected by people's opinion of you is because there are inadequacies about you have not fixed. Because imagine I say, Jiale is a girl. Will you be affected by that comment?
No.
No, because you are so complete and so assured of your manhood that no matter what people say about you, it will not affect you.
Okay.
But if something that people say about you affect you, and we can't change what people say about us, but it's a mirror. It means that there is something about you that you have not come to terms with, that's why it affects you.
And the universe is directing it back to you to fix yourself.
Always. Oh my God, that comes to the I feel the big moment for today's conversation, or at least this season of my life. I believe that, anything that we do, insurance business, MDRT, whatever that you set as a goal, is just a vehicle. It's a vehicle.
Okay.
And that vehicle leads somewhere, right? What's that ultimate goal for all of us? Personal growth.
Yep.
We are here, I believe, on earth, to be the best version of ourselves.
Of course.
Right? And anything that we go through is to help us become a best version of ourselves.
Yes.
So when we face a challenge, it's to make us a better person. We face a critic, it gives us a chance to be better. So if we start seeing that way, then we will not get so caught up with the outcomes. Like if you never achieve the MDRT, you will not get too attached to that because you know that the MDRT is just an excuse to help you become better. Now I'm not saying that then you say, then since I can't achieve MDRT, I'm going to avoid that. No, I'm not asking you to avoid it, but I'm asking you to realize that the MDRT is not an end goal, it's a fruit. It's a fruit. Right? But if you keep doing the right thing, you keep planting seeds, you keep flowering the plant, you keep fertilizing it, you will get your MDRT. So we shouldn't get too attached to all these goals, but we need to see those goals as an indication of our skills, our experience, and our self-development.
It's a measurement. I mean, we still need to measure our growth, right?
Exactly. It's just a measurement. But imagine now you think that way. You think about everything that you experience in life, good or bad, it doesn't matter because you're just living your life like a movie. Right? And all the moments in your life, good or bad, has only one singular purpose, and it's to help you become stronger, help you become more powerful, so that you can be a force for good in this world. That's it. So when something bad happens, you don't get too emotional about it and go, oh, my life sucks. No. It's going to make me stronger.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if something good happened to you, you also don't get too cocky.
Yes.
Because you know what? It's just a fruit. What's next? That's where I am right now. Because I feel that if we think that way, we'll play the long game.
I don't think I've ever heard you say this thing anywhere.
I said it privately to my own mentees because I mean they are the closest to me. So I share as I develop. But I'm telling you that's it. Because when you first got to know me, it was all about strategies and tactics and all that. But I tell you, at the end of the day, at the core of it all, right, is self-belief and self-work. These are the two key things.
Talking about this, like your mentees, right? Have you found your niche market into property agents and insurance advisors? Like previously, you were doing charisma.
Distinction. Okay, so maybe talk about that first. So I was in charisma, and then after that, then I went into kind of like personal branding, social media, and then now people kind of see me as the guy to go to if you want to learn about social media. But I feel that as a content creator, as an advisor, as a speaker, we do not get too attached to what you're doing for others.
Okay.
I think it's more important that you be very clear about your vision. Because the form can change. Long time ago, I was teaching public speaking.
Okay.
And now my form is I'm a speaker, right? But what makes you think that I need to forever be a speaker? So don't get too attached to that. I think it's more powerful if you get attached to the end goal or the vision you're trying to create.
Yep.
The clearer you are about the vision of what you want to create, or what problems you want to solve, or what kind of person you want to be, then you will find your answers eventually.
Understand. Everything else is just a medium for you to get there.
To get there, exactly. So I think when I first started as a public speaker, I was lost, obviously. So I had no clear branding and I was nowhere. Charisma, I felt it was an accidental, I was lucky to hit a topic that somehow resonated very well with your industry. And then the Taiwanese CEO led me to realize that there was a much bigger problem to solve. So I went for that. So I think I'm starting to get clearer that we are here not to just take up space. We're here to make this place a better place.
Yeah.
Now, sure, your world can be just your family of 4. Your world can be 4 billion people.
Yeah.
What game you want to play?
Yeah.
So I decided, it's a decision. I decided I want to play a big game. So I want to be a force of good in this world. So I set that as my vision. And I want, my vision as of now is to make sure that individuals and corporations become top of mind when in their customers' mind.
Right.
Basically, no love respected.
Okay.
And the minute I realized I set that as a vision, rather than my past vision was I want myself to be no love respected, I have very small playing field.
Right.
But the minute I set that vision as I want a person, I want a company to be known, loved, respected, boom, I started attracting a lot more partners. I started attracting a lot more collaborations. Because I tell you something, the minute you set a big goal, the universe is aligned to that.
They'll correspond.
Will correspond to that, right? Because the universe wants everybody to be the best version of themselves.
Yes.
So if you set such a vision, you declare that it's dangerous, because the minute you declare that, the universe will bring people to you.
Yes.
But the universe, God, whatever you want to believe in, for me, I believe in God, right? Will give you the trials and tribulations, so that you're ready for it.
Ready for the vision that you have set for yourself.
Yeah, it's very amazing. So life is what you deem it to be.
Exactly. Your belief creates your reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to answer back your question about niche marketing, I don't think too much about that anymore. I don't think about I wanna like go after insurance, and next I wanna go after real estate.
Understand.
But I set a bigger vision, and I see what happens. Life is like a movie, right? See what happens and let it work through you.
Okay.
So like even though my intent is I want to go after real estate agents, but somehow or other, the door's not opening there. I mean, I'm getting some leeway, but nah, it's not as powerful as real estate. It's not as powerful as insurance. Insurance was like, okay, I'm in. And then next thing you know, it's like, I'm all the way in. And just yesterday, I was having conversations with regional heads. I was having conversations with international associations who are trying to change your industry. And they got me in to share my take. How would I ever believe that I will do that, right? So I believe that there is a higher power that is leading and guiding. You need to learn how to surrender. Set a vision, surrender, and live life like a game. Like you play a game, you got expect how you know your boss is where. All you know is go after the bad guys. If you're facing bad guys, you know you're in the right direction.
Something about surrender, it's like powerful, right? Like powerful. It's like letting go and let God takes you, through the grand vision that He has for you.
Exactly, and very cool thing is that God is a gentleman. You set the vision. How big your vision is. If you want to just be a great family man, sure, then the God, universe, whatever power that is, will give you the necessary resources for you to be the best family man possible. But if now you set that, no, I don't want that goal, I want a much bigger goal, I want to be a global influence, guess what? Sure, then you will get the trials and tribulations so that you can be a global influence. You'll be tested on your integrity, you'll be tested in all your skills, you'll be tempted. Because you want to be a global influence, you have to be able to take the tough things, right? That's what I can realize.
So what is your trial and tribulation now?
Oh my God, so many.
What is God putting you through now?
So many. So many.
If you can share.
Yeah, of course. I say so many, I'm trying to figure out okay. I think one of it is I'm very confronted by my inadequacies.
Like for example?
Because you think about it, for you to now want to be a global influence, right? That means you're pitting yourself or you're positioning yourself with the big guns. Gary Vaynerchuk, Chris Do, Jay Shetty. And then when I look at them, and I look at myself, I got a lot that I need to work on. Like I don't think I'm as hardworking as them. Now, I'm not saying I'm lazy, but my level of hardworkingness led me to this level of success.
Yep,
But if I
understand.
want to be at their level of success, then I need to work at their level.
Yeah.
And so I see that I have a lot of gaps. So the laziness is one. I'm not working as hard as them. I am so used to being a star player, I do not know how to run a star team. So I sort of have to have new skills that I don't have in the past, which is I need to learn how to delegate.
Yep.
I need to learn how to lead rather than just tell people what to do, right? And all these are things that I'm inadequate for, man. I don't have the skills.
Really? I thought you run a team really, like you have a
Small
team to...
but if you want
team.
to be big influence, what? 1, 2 people, 3 people managing a team of vendors is not enough, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I felt that at the business front, these are the things. I feel that I've got a lot of skills that I'm missing, leadership skills that I need.
Okay.
And then in the internal side, it's I have to keep dealing with my inadequacies. I need to deal with how I look at competition, because I'm a very competitive guy. Right, and I thrive on competition. I love being number one.
You just wrote us an email talking about competition versus collaboration.
Exactly.
To remind yourself.
Exactly. Every email I write is basically what I've learned from my trials and tribulations.
Yep.
And the thing is that until I have so I've always seen competition as I want to be better than a person, right?
Yep.
And it helps me. It helps me in my first part of my career.
Of course.
But if you realize at the end of the day, if I'm going to keep seeing everybody as competition, I'll never work with them.
Yep.
But if I start seeing my competition as potential collaborators, if we share the same values, I could do 1 + 1 could be 11.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you see, but I'm so used to being a solo player. So that's why I feel that the only way I can be a global influence if I can dig deeper into myself and be bigger. If Eric don't become bigger, his mentees can't be bigger, his influence can't be bigger.
True.
So a lot of my focus right now is actually inwards, not outwards. Yeah.
Seek within.
It is. As cliche as it sounds, it's really true.
It is.
Jim Rohn said, right? If you work hard on your job, you make a living.
Jim Rohn.
Oh, why? You always start there with Jim Rohn?
I asked all my 3 advisors to watch the 1 hour,
There you go.
2 hour Jim Rohn. Yeah.
There you go. And he said that if you work hard on your job, you make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you make a fortune. Yeah. And it's so true. So I'm standing by that. I'm spending more. That's why I told myself, I need to invest more time on myself rather than teaching. Because to be a good teacher, you need to first be a good student.
Talking about delegation,
Yeah.
do you create the slides yourself, bro?
Okay. See, so I have a problem delegating because I like to do everything myself.
The slides were created by you,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
All
yes,
slides.
Yes, because I like
Do you know how
pretty
pretty?
stuff.
Yeah, the slides are.
Oh, thank you. But I like
But
it.
you must spend a lot of time.
Yeah, but see, it's not good. So I want to also share another distinction I recently learned, which is called zone of genius. There's a difference between zone of genius and zone of competence. So what's called zone of competence? Zone of competence is things that you can do and you do a good job. Zone of genius is things that only you can do and you're talented and you're natural at it and you're at flow. Sometimes our problem is we can do too many things well. And therefore we become a jack of all trades.
Yep.
So I haven't delegated that part of my work yet, but until I do, then I can focus on my zone of genius.
You just need to find a graphic designer who can.
I could, but you see, I'm so used to doing it myself. That's why I say I think I have trust issues. So I like doing things myself. I like to be. That's why I don't like to sit roller coasters because I like to be in control.
I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. See, that's why I need to work with myself until I can get rid of that. So the trust issues come somewhere.
I understand.
Until I can fix that, I will never delegate. And if I never delegate, then I'm always stuck doing the things I'm good at, but I'm not stuck doing the things that I'm born to do.
Understand.
Then I can't be the most brilliant me that I'm born to do.
So, in your opinion, what's your zone of genius?
I think my zone of genius, number one, is creativity.
Okay.
I don't know, just somehow I'm interested in so many things and I could see how I can combine entertainment with comedy, with Zen Buddhism, with marketing.
Zen Buddhism.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into spirituality, man. I'm big on spirituality. I mean, obviously, even the book I gave you is about spirituality.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm also into Feng Shui, geomancy, So, I feel that one of my zone of genius is being a student. I love learning. I love talking to people, asking questions. That's why I started doing podcasts. You know, a long time ago, I was doing a lot of Facebook Live. I was everywhere in all the social media, and there is value in being everywhere on social media. But I asked myself, I said that where's my zone of genius in the area of content creation? And I realized that my zone of genius is in podcasts. Because
Oh,
I have
really?
yes, because I have a big network. I have access to a lot of people.
Okay.
And I love learning.
Yeah.
So why not use podcasts as an opportunity to ask all the questions that I want to ask, like what you just did, and then I learn, and then I repurpose my podcast content into 8 different content for different platforms.
Exactly, which is exactly what I'm doing now.
Which you're doing right now.
Yeah.
So that was one of the output of Zone of Genius, when I realized
see.
that I love asking questions, I love learning,
Yep.
I love making new friends. I'm an extrovert.
Yep.
So I combine these 3 things together, I create something that I can be proud of.
Oh. Being a, like you have been coaching advisors for some time, right? Like Eric, like, do you stumble into, into this industry or how do you
Definitely
stumble?
It was not like, I mean, I back then, before I taught you guys, I only bought one policy, and I bought that policy just to support my friend. I didn't even have a very clear concept of what I bought and why I buy it. I just buy it because my friend is in an insurance company in uni days. Really stumbled. It's really stumbled. So what happened was I was taking communications, and then someone introduced me to an insurance company. So I did a 1-hour presentation for the agency, and then someone in the agency who was a COT recommended me to the training department head. And then I got introduced to a team. I spoke for 100 people, and she told me this. I even remember. She said, "Eric, if you do a good job for this one, you will have a career with the insurance world."
Wow.
Yeah, and true enough, I did a good job for that one. The company from the Malaysian version of that company contacted me, and then next thing you know, I started speaking, and then I got introduced to MDRT conference. Spoke 2014 in MDRT conference. Boom! That's how my career. That's how my career boomed. It was because of the MDRT conference I spoke.
That short
20 minutes that I spoke about charisma.
As in that photo of you on MDRT stage was the same photo inside the funnel that got me to your class.
There you go. Yeah, that was it.
All the
dots start connecting.
connect.
But Steve Jobs says, right, the dots will never connect when you face forward. The dots connect when you face backwards.
Yes.
When you look backwards. So I guess what I've learned is, I think number one is, if you set personal growth as your goal, right, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong, right?
You can't go wrong. You don't even need to set MDRT. As long as you set your personal growth as your goal, right, MDRT is going to be there for you. Right? It's a fruit.
It is.
Yeah, or the money that you have is a fruit.
I mean, you have been coaching so many advisors. I'm just very curious. What are some of the successful traits of successful advisors?
I think
from
one
third-party
is,
point of view.
coachable.
Coachable.
Extremely coachable. That means even though they're already successful, but their cup is always empty. So they don't resist. They don't fight you. They surrender to you. You know, I noticed the difference is people who are
it's
very
not diligence.
No,
it's not waking up
coachability.
early.
No, all these are just habits. But the most important trait is coachability. We need to say, when I ask you to do something, like you are not the only person in that class, but you don't question, you do. You're coachable, you're willing to try, you're malleable, right? You're pliable, and you never ask questions in the sense that you never go like, but you know, what if I do this? No, you just do first.
Yeah.
But there are other people putting not obedient. They will ask a lot of 101 questions.
Yeah.
They don't trust their coach, or they don't surrender to their coach, and therefore they don't see the results. The best example is Karate Kid. You remember Karate Kid?
Yeah.
Remember, he said he got bullied. The main character got bullied, and then he said that, please teach me karate. And then the teacher said, okay, on one condition, you will do everything I ask you to do, and you don't question me. And then for 2 months, what did the old man ask him to do? The senpai asked him to do? Wax the windows, chop the trees, and then he was like, what the hell? Why am I doing all this housework for you?
Yeah.
He said, but I'm teaching you karate. Wax on, wax off. That's part of the karate moves. That's why he's successful.
I see.
Surrendering.
Wow, I totally did not expect the word coachable to come out from. Wow, okay.
Yeah, you think about it. If you're not coachable, think about it. There's so much free information out there.
Yeah.
Why is everybody not billionaires with six-pack abs yet? So something tells you that it's never about the information. It's about the human being, that person.
Understand. Okay. And wow. One big question I want to ask you also is like, how come, in your opinion, not many advisors are putting themselves on social media yet?
It goes back down to self-belief.
Self-belief.
To put yourself out there, right? It's like going back to college days again, Like you stepping up to volunteer to be the class monitor, you stepping up, on stage to be voted as a student council. It's putting yourself out there, right? Implies that you need to have deep sense of certainty and confidence about yourself. Because one of our biggest fear as a human being is to be disapprove is to be
Judged.
rejected, to be judged. It's embedded in our human psyche. You must understand, long time ago, if you're in the barbarian time, right?
Yeah.
Flintstone time, you die if you're on your own. People survive by being in a village because
Exactly.
we take care of each other.
Yep.
So you are wired to fit in, not to stand out. You stand out, the lion will eat you first.
Yes.
But because
For the saber-tooth.
For the saber-tooth tiger, that would be very cool, saber-tooth tiger, you know. So you're wired to fit in because for survival. But our body has evolved, our civilization has evolved, but our body might not have evolved, our psyche might not have evolved. And so we are still in the fight or flight, we're still in the survival instinct mode. Our instinct is to fit in, not to stand out.
So by putting yourself out there, you stand out.
Yeah, which your body will not allow because you're still living in this whole Flintstone era where you're supposed to fit in.
And when you stand out, the chances of you getting judged is high, and that's back to the self-esteem, because if you feel that if you're not confident, then you can easily be taken down by comments or like.
Exactly, you get it, right? That's why I say at the core of everything so far, I realize, right? It all boils back down. If there are two things that I'm going to dedicate my entire life to teach, right? Maybe let's say three things. Number one is self-awareness. Number two is empathy. Number three is service. These three.
Sounds like you're gonna be the Gary Vaynerchuk of Singapore.
You think so? Oh my God! Did he say that too?
Yeah, he said that. Yeah,
because
self-awareness.
You understand self-awareness, right? Self-awareness allows you to amplify your strengths and your talents and your superpower.
Yeah.
Self-awareness allows you to see the best in yourself, so you're willing to put yourself out there.
Yeah, man.
But putting yourself out there is one thing, but you need to be able to listen. You need to have good listening skills to understand what the world needs. And that's where empathy comes in. That's where, because with empathy, you're authentic, you're sincere, you're creating emotional connection. Because people buy people. But finally, I feel that at the end of the day, we're put on earth to serve. And it's a very difficult thing to get because we're all so self-focused, and it's understandable. I was very self-focused. I think I still am self-focused. It's just that I'm being more conscious that I need to resist the ego. It's an ego, right? I need to resist the ego and do what Jesus does. Like, Jesus is one of the best leaders that we can learn from. He's the one that washes the feet of his disciple. I mean, this is the best example of servant leadership.
It is.
Yeah, and so it's going to take time for us to get into a service mindset. And the only way that you can serve others is if you are whole and complete. Think about it. If you're right now poor, you can't even feed yourself. How on earth would you think about feeding others? So you need to be whole and complete first before you can be of service to others. That's why it leads back to self-awareness and self-work.
Wow.
And the minute you tune into service, you tune into higher power.
You tune into service, you tune into higher power.
Yeah. And then that's when you start attracting resources to you. You think about it, Jiale. Imagine you talk to a person and the person asks you, what's your goal? Oh, my goal is to make sure I live in a nice house. Versus my goal is to feed the hungry. Which one's going to get you the resources?
Of course, feed the hungry.
Exactly. People are wait, feed the hungry? What do you need? People are excited. Powerful people are excited by problems. So when they hear such a big problem, they're excited. It's like a game. And they want to give you the resources, the network, the skills, the experience, whatever. And then your life becomes exciting too.
As a result. So what's your end game?
So we are defined by our maturity, right?
Okay.
So for
at
now,
this moment,
season, because I'm turning 40 soon, so
Eric says he's turning 40 soon.
I'm seriously turning 40.
Does he look like 40 at all?
It's just good lighting and good camera, But seriously, Jiale, in my 30s, it was really all about myself. Like, I want to build my personal brand, I want to be successful. But maybe age have a way of, changing you. But I think a lot about legacy these days. I think a lot about, look at Bruce Lee. He's dead for so many years, but his mentees are still around, like the mentees, right? So for now, my big vision is force of good. Be a force for good. I want to do something for the world, right? That's my big vision. But if I bring it down, I think I'm very, very attracted to the theme of being a somebody in this world. Like, imagine this, Jiale. If you are a person of influence and I got 1,000 Jiales like that, together we can do a lot of good, So I think my form will still be about helping individuals and companies become known, loved, respected. That's still my mission. Because it's so in my DNA. Because I was not known, I was not loved, I was not respected. I understand what it's like to be a nobody,
Okay.
But you see, the thing is that we are all born default a nobody, but we can be a somebody by design. And I want to do that, and I want to do it with the right people. Because if I work with people with the right ethics, with a service mindset, we can do a lot of good together.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my goal, man.
Well, I got stuck at your last sentence, which is, you're born nobody by default, but you're somebody by design.
Yes, I believe that. We're nobody by default.
Wow.
Somebody by design.
You know, Eric, we cannot control what happens to us back then, right? Yeah. So, you know, like for example, you may be, you know, you may go through the life events and unknowingly attach, limiting beliefs and stories onto that event, and as a result, it manifests into your life, adulthood, and it cripples you. And wow, so how does one even have the self-awareness to
Resistance.
Resistance?
The minute you face a resistance, it tells you something. So for example, like let's say...
Because like, I don't even know where to start. So you say resistance is the...
Follow your resistance. So for example, like the minute I ask you put out a piece of content, but there's a resistance there. There's a lesson you can learn from there. Or like go out there and pick up the phone and go and give a call to that person. There's a resistance there. There's a gap. There's a blind spot. There's a loophole. There's a limiting belief. There's a program. Nobody has resistant brushing teeth, right? Because you have no bad programming for that.
Right.
Case in point, this is fresh out of the oven yesterday.
Yesterday.
Okay, ask you something. Do you have any fear when you step into the lift?
No.
No, right? No resistance, right? So you're zero neutral, right? So therefore you have no limiting beliefs about lift, right?
No.
So therefore you can do something with lifts, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You can record a video in the lift, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But me, yesterday I was visiting a friend, new house as well, and picking out the lift got stuck. Oh, and it's a very small lift, you know, very, very small lift.
HDB or?
It was like a condo.
Okay.
But the lift is black in color, like super black, you know. So I can't see out and it's all black. And I freaked out. I had a panic attack, Jiale, in the lift yesterday at like 8 o'clock. I had a panic attack, you know. I was trying to pry open the lift.
The lights went out?
The lights went out. No, it was still bright, but it was all black. Because it's some kind of design of the lift, right?
Okay.
Like a hotel lift. And I remember pressing the bell, the phone. Oh God, nothing worked. And it rang, but no one come. And I panic. I really panicked.
Do you even think about like?
No, then I had to call my friend and thank God my friend picked up. But I was stuck for 10 minutes, which felt like eternity. So all of a sudden, that day, when I went back home, I freaked out when I stepped in the lift. I stayed in the 14th floor. And I was like, oh my God, what if the lift gets stuck again? Limiting belief.
What was your first thought when you got stuck in the lift?
Panic.
Why?
I wasn't even thinking. I was feeling more. I think my logical circuit was fright. I had a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. The whole wall was crashing in on me. I really feel like the wall is crumbling on me.
Wow.
It's a very illogical thing.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to arrive at is that it's an event, right? And so it caused a belief, which is a fear that, oh my God, what if I get stuck?
Yep.
Right? So therefore, when I enter lift from today onwards, there's a resistance because of that belief. So until I can fix it, which I went to check Google said that the way to deal with claustrophobia is to gradually put yourself in confined spaces and be comfortable with discomfort, and then you get rid of that fear.
I'm gonna buy your box.
Okay, slow steps. But can you see that I'm resisting the lift? So now I'm aware that the resistance means that I got an area that I need to improve.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work on it. So your suggestion was I put myself in a cupboard, right?
Yeah.
And then if it works, if that strategy works, then I'm no longer fearful of the lift. Resistance go away. Now I got potential to do whatever I need to do with the lift.
But that is like 1 in a million chance for you to get stuck in the lift, right?
But you know what?
Really have to go.
You see, you're looking at it from a logical point of view, but you know, human beings are emotional. You could also say that 1 in a chance that I would die, I don't need insurance, right? But it's illogical, you know. So our fears are illogical, and unfortunately, our fears are so illogical and yet so powerful. That's why people don't live out of their shell. That's why people remain small. Why is it that people are not willing to put it into insurance, right? Because they have fear of not having enough money. They have that fear that if they take the money from the bank and they put it with you, that's a fear, because they have a limiting belief that investing in something is a bad thing because of an experience that they might have, and they concluded that it's a bad thing and they're stuck. So we really need to be very careful about that beliefs. But we never know we have all those beliefs because they work behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Therefore, the indication is a resistance. When you resist doing something, just be curious. Why am I resisting? Is there a certain belief I have that caused me to resist? And if that belief serves you, keep it. But if that belief doesn't serve you, like in this case, go and create a piece of content. But what if, wait, resistant, why? Because I remember like last time I was in JC, I tried to give a speech, people laugh at me. Okay, good. So does that belief serve you? No, it's not serving me because it prevents me from creating content and I'm not getting the brand I need. Okay, good. Now you have a big why, right? So go fix it. There's a lot of resources out there that you can go to help you.
Okay.
And then once you fix it, you no longer have that that fear.
Right.
Now you can create content.
Right.
And you have just advanced.
You need to fix yourself, man. Like,
It's always yourself. Michael Jackson says, you want to change the world? First change the man in the mirror. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Yeah, it's really so. I'm getting goosebumps from saying all these things I told you. At the end of the day, I don't care whether you're a financial advisor, a real estate agent, or a network marketer, or a coach, teacher, a content creator. At the core of everything, it's self growth.
Right. Yeah. Now, I also want to ask you something that I think many people want to ask you, or maybe some like insights on. You talk to big people in the insurance industry.
Yeah.
Where is the industry heading towards, in your opinion? Like, why I'm asking this question is because like we are so bogged down with the day-to-day, like fixing appointments, going for the recommendations and the closing appointments and rinse and repeat, right? Or busy creating social media content, that sometimes advisors may lose the bigger picture where the industry is moving towards. I give you an example. This is quite a scary vision that I had. Like suddenly it came from nowhere that you know what, now we have the sync pass and all. One fingerprint, we are able to access to many things about ourselves. Health related, insurance, banks, all right? Insurance is on its way, not really there yet, but I envision one day with a thumbprint, insurance advisors do not need to do insurance summaries anymore. Because the government is going to connect all insurance companies such that with one fingerprint, instantly the client will have an insurance portfolio or summary in front of him. And so the value that we used to give, which is to collect physical documents and try to painstakingly study the policies and create a summary, a neat one, in one page for our clients, will no longer be there. Because it's been replaced. And then what happens next is that if they are able to pull credit card information and your income and whatnots, they're gonna know how much you likely need as an insurance coverage using algorithms, and how much you may need for retirement based on your lifestyle now.
Correct.
And they are gonna work out the numbers already for us consumers on our phones. Like, hey, Jiale, based on our lifestyle, you need about 1 million coverage because so why, right? Because there's so many dependents, etc. And based on your lifestyle, you need this much for retirement. The numbers are there, and based on facts, because they pull from all sources. And then, because they have all these numbers, they can create recommendations using robots as well, based on what your gaps are and how much you have. These are my recommendations for you, and these are the top 3 insurers. Do you think that scenario ever
Well, I mean, it's already happening, right? I mean, there's so much talk about robo-advisors, and I mean, we spoke about that a long time ago, like, human advisor versus robo-advisor, who will win, right? I think at the end of the day, it boils back down to our human value proposition. What is it that we cannot stop the robot from being able to crunch data and be able to analyze data as well as us? We can never fight the robots in that area. So I feel that we need to go back to what is our human core competency. What is it that a robot doesn't have that human has?
Emotions?
Exactly. It could be emotions, right? And another one, like we are right now ordering food, right? Online. But would you still want to go back to a restaurant to eat?
Yes.
Why? Why would you go to a restaurant? More convenient to be eating at home.
Well, I guess we are social animals, and we love interactions, and I don't. Why? What do you think is the?
You just say what? You love the interaction. You love probably for me, like I love the ambience, the experience.
Ambience, right? Yes. Yeah.
So what am I arriving at is that no, we just need to produce. We just need to create new value for our customers. Just because the old things that you do for them is replaced by the robots, it doesn't displace you. It just now gives you a chance to create new value. Just because I empty the cup doesn't mean the cup is forever empty. It means that now I have the potential to pour something else, like alcohol, into my cup. Whatever it is. But it goes back down to that thing I told you about, which is empathy.
Funny how you say alcohol. Are you craving for
No,
something right now?
I don't know.
Subconscious,
Yeah,
like,
subconscious.
Yeah, it could be green tea, right?
Yeah, I don't know why I say alcohol. So can we like, so it's about creating new value, and that's why it leads back to the point I told you about, which is empathy. That the closer you are to your target market, you'll never be out of business because your target market will always tell you the new problem that they're facing. Like, Jiale, if I continue teaching charisma, I would have been out of a job. But because, thankfully, I listened to that Taiwanese CEO, I realized that there was a much bigger problem to solve. So I'm solving it right now.
Right.
And then for 4 years, I was teaching about how do you build a personal brand on social media, how do you play the attraction game, right? So that was a problem I was solving, right? But now everybody jumped on the bandwagon and everybody's teaching roughly the same thing, right? How do you get leads from Instagram? How do you get leads from YouTube? If I stay this line of thought, then I'm going to be out of the job again. So that's why I'm solving a bigger problem right now, which is now everybody can teach you all these things. But you don't go fix this, the man in the mirror, you'll never be successful.
Wait. So you got to the bigger problem to solve because you started to solve that immediate problem first.
You're always solving the next problem, the next problem, the next problem.
Right.
But how do you know what's the next problem to solve?
Yeah.
Listen intently to your customers.
Right.
So I've been teaching insurance agents how to create content, how to build a brand. But you know what's the biggest problem they always tell me? Content creation. Which is why right now, I am spending all my time teaching my mentees how to create content. Like every week, we are going through a content exercise. I teach them there are 7 types of content to create. I right now have also built a content library, which means financial advisors don't need to create content. Just subscribe to the library and download the content that my team will create for you. See that? I'm solving a problem right now. So the key is this. And then in future, we're going to create customizable copyrighted, not copyright, customized copywriting. What you want to sell? You put in the keywords. My AI will help you create the landing page for you. Can you see where I'm going with that? That the key to staying relevant is to solve new problems. And there will always be problems as long as there are human beings.
I love that.
Yeah, so don't worry. Don't have that mindset that, oh my God, I'm out of a job. It just means that everybody is leveling up. You better make sure you level up too. So if you do not know what to do, just spend more time with your customers. And then ask them, if computers can do that for you, robots can do that for you, then what will be the next problem that you think you will face? Go solve the problem. Be the first to solve that problem. And be the best at solving the problem. And then be out of job. I've been in this business for 12 years. That's my philosophy. Just keep solving problems. As long as your heart is in the right place, you want to serve, there will always be a problem for you to solve. And you pick a problem that you want to solve.
Right, because there are tons of problems to solve.
Exactly.
Because so long there are human beings, there are problems.
Exactly.
And you can pick and choose what problems you want to solve.
And therefore, it ties back to the first point I talked to you about, which is self-awareness. That you need to know what your idiosyncrasies, your strengths, your talents are, so that you're solving the right problem.
Because that one will be within your I would say, your zone of genius.
Exactly. Can you get it?
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure, man. Eric.
It's a pleasure having you. I feel like this is like super deep conversation for a living room, but thank you so much for inviting me.
It is, man. I totally did not expect the conversation to pivot this direction because I prepared some questions, but it seems like they are irrelevant now that we are headed to this direction that we headed.
Sorry.
But no. It's a beautiful direction that we headed. So, everyone. Eric Feng, the advisor of advisors.
Thank you, guys.
See you next week.